the hiss of a cassette loading screen, the clink of milk bottles on a doorstep, and the swish of nylon shell suits in the high street. These are the sounds and sights of 80s Britain. If they stir something familiar, you're about to revisit 10 memories that shaped that decade, and the 8th one in particular would quietly alter the rhythm of everyday life for years to come. In the early 80s, home computers began appearing in British living rooms that had never seen anything like them. The ZX Spectrum sat beside the family television. Its black casing and small rubber keys were unlike anything else in the house. Its games came on cassette tapes, loaded through a player that filled the room with a long, high-pitched screech while the screen flashed blocks of red, blue, and yellow like an abstract painting come to life. Waiting became part of the ritual, a glance at the screen, a listen for the sound, and the relief when the first pixelated image appeared after what felt like an eternity. The graphics were simple, the colors were bright, and the worlds they revealed kept players in place for hours at a time. Bedrooms and front rooms turned into makeshift arcades, the sound of key presses and joystick clicks traveling down carpeted hallways and under the closed doors of terrace houses. Away from the glow of the television, summer afternoons offered different rituals. The corner shop freezer stood humming by the counter, a treasure chest of wrapped ices and lollies. And the mini milk was the quiet favorite. Small enough for pocket money to cover, it came in neat paper sleeves with colors that told the flavor before the first bite. Chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla. Each was soft and cool, the milkiness distinct from the sharp flavor of fruit lollies. It was the sort of treat eaten on the walk home, with the creamy taste lasting longer than expected, or disappearing. The paper sleeve would sometimes soften in the hand on hot days, a faint smell of sweet milk escaping before the first taste. For many, it was the sweet you could buy without permission, the dependable one that always tasted the same, a little bit of comfort wrapped in paper and memory. Television often brought its own excitement, and in the mid-80s, few shows grabbed playground talk, quite like Knight Rider. When Michael Knight and his talking car Kid appeared on ITV, it felt like a new age of television had arrived. Part action series, part sci-fi dream. The bonnet scanner light and calm computer voice became instant icons, and cliffhanger endings drew families together on Friday nights in front of the set. Monday mornings carried the chatter of favorite moments, whether it was a leap over a barricade or a gadget reveal that nobody saw coming. Shops filled with plastic replicas, sticker books, and lunchboxes as the wish for a car that talked moved from screen to high street shelves. Even playground games shifted, with children pretending to speak into imaginary wrist communicators. For a while, Knight Rider shaped the rhythm of the week, its blend of chases and easy gadget fantasy woven into living rooms and school corridors. Not every daily presence came from the screen. In the still dark mornings, the milk truck hummed through quiet streets at its unhurried pace. Porch lights and the amber glow of street lamps picked out the milkman's route, bottles clinking as they were set on doorsteps. Foil caps shone faintly in the early light, and empties left out the night before were gathered without fuss. It was a delivery as reliable as the kettle boiling, a small ritual marking the start of the day. Some watched from a fogged window, others met the float for a word or two before school, breath curling in the morning air. The milkman knew the streets as well as his own kitchen, greeting customers by name, and his truck's gentle sound became part of the soundtrack of a neighborhood still half asleep. In the same way the milkman quietly connected houses, the television held another hidden network. Behind the programs, Ceefax and teletext waited to be summoned with the press of the remote. Blocky pages flicked in numbered order, showing headlines, football scores, weather, and holiday ads in simple colored squares. It was slow, yet oddly comforting, knowing the page you wanted was circled back. Families checked it daily for lottery numbers, TV guides, and match results. Each 3-digit code quietly etched into the memory. For a generation, it was a private window into the outside world, tucked into the corner of the screen, ready at any moment. A silent companion in the living room. If teletext was discreet, shell suits were the opposite. In the late 80s, they swept across Britain in bright nylon swirls of neon pink, turquoise, and electric yellow. They were worn to school discos, on weekend shopping trips, and sometimes by entire families at once. The swish of the fabric was unmistakable, and its shine seemed to promise you were part of something current and bold. They caught the light on sunny afternoons and rustled in the breeze, a uniform for playgrounds and high streets alike. Some wore them zipped to the neck, others open over t-shirts, but all shared the same bright confidence. Comfort met attitude, and even if they raised smiles now, there was a time when pulling on a shell suit felt like stepping out in style. Some memories belong as much to the shops as to the clothes or toys inside them. For many children, a trip to Woolworths meant heading straight to the pick and mix. Rows of tubs held fizzy cola bottles, jelly babies, sherbet pips, and chocolate raisins, all waiting behind their clear lids. The paper bag crinkled in your hand as you scooped just enough of each sweet, hoping the scales at the till would be kind. The smell was a mixture of sugar and plastic, a scent unique to that counter. Whether it was a birthday, a Saturday in town, or just a small treat, the counter felt endless with choice. Though Woolworths has disappeared from the high street, the memory of standing in front of that wall of colour remains vivid, each scoop another piece of small, edible freedom. The sound of dial-up internet still lingers for those who first met the web in the late 80s. A click, a hiss, and the mechanical rise and fall of tones as the modem fought for a connection, claiming the phone line for itself. Pages arrived slowly, each image appearing in strips, and patience was part of the bargain. If someone lifted the receiver, the line went dead in an instant, and voices from the other room would call out in frustration. Yet there was excitement in logging on, whether checking the first email account, joining an MSN Messenger chat, or watching a download creep to completion over hours. That noisy handshake between computer and network was more than data transfer. It was the sound of a new era arriving in living rooms and bedrooms across the country, one connection at a time. Music had its own revolution a decade earlier, when the Sony Walkman reached British shelves. It moved listening from the shared space of the living room stereo to the personal space of a cassette in your pocket. The orange-foamed headphones brought the Jam, the Human League, or a homemade mixtape straight to your ears on buses, trains, and rainy pavements. C90 tapes were labeled in block capitals, their playlists swapped among friends, or recorded carefully at home from the radio, fingers poised over the pause button to avoid the DJ's voice. Parents sometimes frowned at the sight of teenagers sealed in their own world, but for many, it was the first true taste of portable privacy. It was the ability to carry a soundtrack through the day and choose exactly what the world sounded like. Weekends held their own rituals too, and none was more fiercely protected by children than Saturday morning cartoons. Before streaming and repeats on demand, they came in a small window of time, a few golden hours before midday. Children settled in front of boxy television sets with cereal bowls balanced nearby, watching Transformers, Thundercats, or the Raccoons, alongside the cheerful chaos of Going Live or Motormouth. The colours were bright, the jingles unforgettable, and the feeling that every other child was doing the same thing somehow made it better. Parents enjoyed the quiet, children absorbed every minute, and when the credits rolled, the wait began again for next week's stories. It was an unspoken appointment with joy, the kind that marked the passing of weeks as surely as the school bell. From flashing screens to neon streets, these 10 memories still hum beneath the surface of Britain's past, reminders of a decade that shaped who we were and who we became.